Hey, I'm super excited today. We've got Mr. Antonio Cousin on the program, and he is being recognized by a broker agent advisor as one of the top brokers in his community, which is really amazing. And we're just going to get to know Antonio a little bit about his background and what's going on with how you're building this incredible company. Antonio, you're based in Louisiana, right?
Yes, so I'm based in the Baton Rouge and New Orleans markets. Born and raised in New Orleans, went to college in Baton Rouge at LSU.
Love it, love it. And huge LSU fan. I think I saw some,
Oh
some
yeah,
stuff out there on that.
absolutely.
So
Yep.
kind of just for people that are thinking, hey, I want to open my own brokerage and I'm afraid to leave my, first of all, I'm afraid to take the first step, and maybe if I've got a job, leave the job, and secondly, then open a brokerage. You got a really unique story about how you've done that. So I'd love to have you just kind of explain your path.
Yeah, so I got licensed in 2010 in Dallas, Texas, actually. And then in 2016, I moved back to Louisiana. So I had to start that process over again by getting my Louisiana license because the laws are totally different, like extremely different. But got the license here in 2016. And by 2020, July 14, 2020, so we're coming up on 3 years actually, I went ahead and went out on my own and started my own brokerage because I felt like I had more to offer. That I had been with three previous brokerages before starting my own, and I just took the bits and pieces that I absolutely love to develop Service First Real Estate. I'm sorry, we have something called Service First University within the company. But anyway, so I developed the company and started the company in July of 2020. And the whole time I did all of this, I was working a full-time job as a bank examiner. So I was trying to run my individual sales business, work full-time as a bank examiner while also building a company. And it was really tough, man. So I made the decision in December of 2021 to go out on my own and quit the full-time job and just focus strictly on real estate. And it's been the best thing ever. Honestly, I love it. So
Yeah, amazing story. And this was, bank examiner job is, it's a high level job. I know you've been there for years, lots of benefits and all the things that go along with it. It's well paying. And that's a big trigger to pull. You're saying
yeah,
I'm gonna leave that and go full time into this. The other cool thing I really like about your story is that you opened your company really in the depths of COVID. I mean, the July 2020 was like COVID, the world had ended kind of thing. And you just went ahead and went for it. Talk to me about your kind of your philosophy of the kind of company you're building, because you're building a kind of a unique company in your market, right?
yeah. So a couple things. So I'm big on personal finance, first of all. So I have a podcast actually. It's called the Financial Flows Podcast.
Love
And
it.
like I study personal finance. I absolutely love the subject, the topic. So I feel like as a broker, I'm, the leader for my agents, and they look up to me to lead them, right? I have to not only teach them real estate sales and how to be a good salesperson in the business, but also the way I guess set myself apart from other brokerages is I lean on that personal finance. So like
Mhm.
I teach my agents about personal finance and investing because
Yeah.
I believe in it. And I strongly believe that we're the experts in the area. So why shouldn't we own real estate like real estate? Like we
Yeah.
should be investing in it as well. And so I'm big on that. And I try to lean into that and teach my agents, well, I hate to say my agents, my partners in the business. I try to teach them, about personal finance because I feel like I would fail as a leader if I had all this knowledge about personal finance and I'm not giving it back to them. If I'm only focusing on how much they can sell, that's being selfish, in my opinion.
Yeah. And I think it's, that wealth building strategy is unique because most offices are looking at their agents kind of transaction, like how many transactions can I get out of this person? And, if they're going to make me X, if they get to the cap, you're looking at it more long-term. Like if I help these people build wealth, they're going to stay loyal to me and they're
Yep.
going to they're going to recruit for me. And I know you're not super active in recruiting, like outbound recruiting, but you're attracting a lot of people to join you. Why do you think that is? Is it word of mouth? Is it just networking with other agents in the community? Because you're a top agent too.
Yeah, I think it's more so just networking and just being visible on social media. Honestly, I post every day. I haven't missed a day since November 28th of 2022. So like I'm heavy on social media. I love Instagram for sure, but I post on different platforms. But I think it attracts other agents to me because they see what we're building. And also we give 10% of all the company's earnings. We give that to a local nonprofit. So agents want to be a part of something like that. And then I feel like I have a good reputation in the business in the area, in my local market. So why wouldn't you want to come over here? You know, you see, we're doing good things. It's 24 of us now as well. So we've grown. You know, it was just me and Ashley when we first started the company, and now it's 24 of us. And I want to have at least 30 by the end of the year, but I don't want to just take anybody. I'm real selective on who I take because we have a bunch of good apples per se, and I don't want to bring a bad apple around us because I don't want to mess up the vibe and the culture that we have. Like, we're going on a cruise next month, a company cruise.
Wow,
Who's doing that? You know, like, nobody's doing that.
Nobody's doing that. No, not at all. So interesting too, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you have a virtual office. You have a location too where people can go, but for the most part, you're virtual.
Yeah.
And with that, you're also, I think, you're hiring some part-time people too, right? That have other jobs and doing other things, because you came in the business as a part-time person. Right. And that's also probably a little bit unique in your market too, no?
Yeah. So of the 24 of us, we do have a physical location in Baton Rouge.
Mm-hmm.
I bought that business or that building 2 years prior to me opening the brokerage, because I knew what I wanted one day. And plus, I'm an investor. So it was rented out. It's still rented out to this day. We just use one of the empty offices within that building. But I bought it, you know, with the foresight that I was going to build a brokerage and run it out of that office. But nobody goes there. It's available to them if they need it, but nobody goes there. Honestly, I only go there to check mail. I have all my business mail going there. But what was the second part of that question? I'm sorry.
It was that you do hire some part-time people. That
Yes.
It's not just full-time people.
So of the 24 of us, I want to say it's about 7 of us that's full-time. The rest are part-time. They have full-time jobs, but they're still, you know, attending the meetings. We have a group meet where we communicate in a group meet all the time, like not just for business, but jokes as well, like funny photos we may see on the MLS with people in it, or, you know, things like that, just to have fun. And that's what I'm talking about when I say culture building. Like, even though we're a virtual, quote unquote, virtual brokerage, we're able to develop those relationships because we communicate often in a group meet, and we try to do things once a month. Like, I had all the agents came over to my house last month. We're trying to set up a Topgolf date coming up. And like I said, we're going on a cruise next month. So we try to do things to purposely be around each other because we don't have that, you know, in the office activity that I would like, honestly.
And you mentioned your university, which I think you've started not too long ago, and that's amazing. And you're huge on training. I know you're a great trainer and a great coach, and I think that coaching element's huge for attracting people as well. But talk a little bit about your university and your coaching within your company.
Yeah. So what I've learned is when I was onboarding a person, it would take an hour to an hour and a half right off the bat on Zoom. And we're going through all this stuff. And honestly, with the brokerage, we have a lot of resources, like a lot of resources. So what I've learned is, as I was going through these onboarding meetings, I was spending a lot of time, first of all. But secondly, I was giving them so much information that they couldn't physically enact all of it. Or, you know, they'll forget things and they'll have to come back to me. And it's just a lot of time. So what I did was I sat down for about 2 or 3 weeks in December of last year, and I recorded a bunch of videos. And I uploaded those videos to a platform called Thinkific. And inside of there, I just built it out as if it's like a course style, where it has the different topics. And that way, when I onboard an agent now, I just send them their link so they can create an account, have their own individual account, and they can go through every single video at their own leisure. And then also, I teach real estate investing every Tuesday night. So what I started doing was, like I told you, I believe that we all should be owning real estate as an investment properties, as an investment. So I take the good stuff, like the good presentation or the things that I deem good, and I upload that to the platform as well. As I call it, the section of it is lanyard. In Louisiana, that just means a little extra. So that's that section of the Service First University, where I have different real estate investing presentations, just things where they can learn.
Yeah, awesome. And then you also, I know you're big into accountability, and I know you're doing it. I don't know if you're still doing it, but you had a 5 a.m. club, right? Where everybody at 5 a.m. You still doing that?
Oh yeah, we've been doing it almost 2 years now. So every morning, Monday through Friday, we do take off on holidays, but Monday through Friday we meet on Zoom at 5:15 a.m. And I started off with like a motivational quote, and then we go around the room just saying what our goals are for the day. And after we go through with the goals, we started a book club about a year ago now, and we just finished this one this morning, The Go Giver.
Great book.
So yeah, so we just finished this one this morning. We just go through and talk about our takeaways. We're starting this one next, Go Give or Sell More.
Yeah.
So yeah, we read a bunch of books, man, as a book club now. So I just think I get anywhere from 3 to maybe 7 people. So it's not the whole brokerage. I'll never have the whole brokerage.
Nah. but man, with a group of 24, that's still impressive. 3 to 7 is a lot. I mean, for getting up at 5:15, you know.
Yeah, and the cool thing about it is I'm starting to see like the people who constantly show up every morning. I'm starting to see the results, so that makes me feel good.
Right, right. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And are the people that are joining you when they come, are they newer people or are they coming from other companies generally? I'm just curious.
Generally other companies, but because I didn't want to take new people just because of how much time it requires of me.
Yeah,
I did take a few lately, but that's because I have Service First University to help leverage me.
right.
That helps.
And then in terms of you just being kind of the best example as a leader, you're also selling, but you're a top producing agent. Are people shadowing you in the field or no?
No, not really. What I've been relying on is, especially for the new folks that recently joined,
Mhm.
they came in as a recommendation or referral from another agent within the brokerage.
Yeah,
So that person kind of helps with
got it.
the new person to help bring them on, and any questions that I may not be readily available to answer, they
Yeah.
help me. So that's helped a lot.
And then I also want to pitch your book because I know you just put out a book yourself, and it's kind of your story about leaving the rat race. Right? What's the name of the book?
It's I'm out, escaping the rat race, one income stream at a time. So I released that book on February 28th, and I sold close to 400 books, so I'm happy about that.
Nice.
Most of it was ebook. I just recently got the paperbacks printed, so I have paperbacks that I've been selling recently. But I'm actually in the process of doing a course, man. So the feedback from the book has been incredible. So I went ahead and figured I can go ahead and do a course and build out on the book, so I can go in depth on different examples and just add more knowledge to what I couldn't put inside of the book. So I'm excited about that. So that's something I'm building on and working on in July. I'm doing the course outline right now as we speak.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, Antonio, I know you got another meeting coming in, but as we wrap up here, what advice would you give to somebody that's like, hey, I'm thinking about opening my own brokerage, and like just kind of first steps? I mean, you started with this kind of in your mind, and then you actually implemented. What advice would you give to people?
So I'll tell you, it's not easy at all, at all. So I would, and I basically leaned on my coach. I reached out to my coach because he's been there before. So I reached out, had a bunch of questions, and basically it's just to shorten that learning curve. Like I didn't want to start from scratch and have to figure it all out on my own. Why not go to somebody that's already been there and done that? So that would be one. Reach out to someone that can give you the game that's been there already, and I can help with that. If you want to reach out to me, Cousin Sales LA is my Instagram platform. I mean, my Instagram handle, and that's my preferred platform. But I would say reach out to somebody who's been there already. It's not easy, so be prepared to go through some tough times, and that's going to challenge you. But it's all on your mindset. Like, how bad do you want it? And then lastly, you have to think about like what can you bring different to the marketplace. Like we have a bunch of different brokerages and little boutique brokerages or whatever. Like what can you do differently that's not being done already?
Right.
And I feel like with our company, with Service First Real Estate, like I'm really leaning heavily on that personal finance tip, because I want to build not only like agents that are out there top producers, but I want them to be financially astute too in their personal lives. So that's what I really focus on, and that's what I strive to go for. And it's working, like honestly. And I want to bless the community too, like our local community. That's why we're doing the 10% of the earnings, giving that back to local nonprofits. And I strongly believe like there's nothing wrong with like the Red Cross and organizations like that. However, I want to give to somebody that I can actually see the money getting down to the person. Some of those bigger companies, like you may give to it, but you may not see the fruits of that, that investment. So like recently, we gave in the first quarter of 2023, we gave money to the YWCA. And what they did with that money was they put on the baby shower for single moms. And they sent me pictures afterwards. It was amazing, man. They bought like strollers, diapers, clothes. Like that made me feel good. Like I see what the money is doing. That makes me feel good. So I want to continue to be able to do more. So I hope we sell more so I can do more.
I'm sure you will. Antonio, thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations on your upcoming award with a brokerage and advisor. I'm sure we're going to be seeing you all over the market, as you grow and grow the company. And of course, if you got a referral and you'd like to refer to Antonio's company, tell them again really quickly, Antonio, your company name.
It's Service First Real Estate, and we service the entire Southeast Louisiana. So that's anywhere from Baton Rouge to New Orleans and anywhere in between.
Awesome. Again, thank you, Antonio, for being on the program.
Thank you. I appreciate it.